Hey, come on, let's go to the high point. What's going on? This is Erik with the Get Me Out of Here vlog, and I am standing here at Charles Mound, the highest geographical point of the entire state of Illinois, and I'm actually not standing there yet. I have to take about a mile-long trek. Right here's the trail just to get to the mound, but I'm excited to do this. I'm going to take you along with me. This is the highest, again, the highest geographical point, natural point of the entire state of Illinois. And it's, you know, it's quite the trek to get out here. Look at all these back country roads I had to take just to get to the beginning of the trail, which is right here. In case you were wondering, it's located in northwest Illinois. The nearest town is called Charles Mound, which is just a couple miles away. You can kind of see it actually there in the distance. That is the edge of the town of Charles Mound. So the elevation is 1,235 feet. I did the Hoosier Hill high point of Indiana last fall, and that is actually just, I think, like 20 feet taller than this location actually. Believe it or not, Indiana's high point is 1,257 feet versus 1,235 feet here in Illinois. So I'm excited to take you guys along with me. I've done this trip before, about 3 years ago. I've got some footage here I can show you. I think we've reached the top, guys. Highest point in Illinois. But I haven't done it since, and I want to take you along on this journey so that you can experience this with me. What's a little unique about this high point is it's actually private property. It's not public grounds. There's a farmer that lives right over there. He owns this land. So the only time you can access this high point is the first weekend of every summer month. So the first weekend of June, which is right now while I'm here. Today is June 6th. It's a Sunday. The first weekend of July, the first weekend of August, and the first weekend of September. Again, I hope you guys can hear me because it's super windy out. But the first weekends of June, July, August, September is when you can access this high point. Other than that, it is trespassing. So keep that in mind. If you ever want to journey out here to see this high point, you've got 4 weekends to do it. Sometimes they offer a February weekend as well, but they do not plow this road, so I wouldn't recommend that unless you're a daring winter devil. Maybe you are. The farmer here has 3 rules that you have to apply, that you have to oblige, I should say, before you do this trek. One is, do not block the driveway, so you have to park here along this highway road. 2 is you cannot bring pets. No pets allowed when you do this trek. And 3 is you cannot trespass this region after dark. So you have to do it during daylight hours. So 3 very simple rules. It is really windy. Let me get into these trees. Maybe you can hear me better. Let's try that again. So 3 simple rules to follow in order to reach the high point. All right, I'm talking too much. It's ready. I'm ready to kick this thing off. So join me on a journey to the highest point of Illinois. Let's go. I appreciate it. You too, and enjoy Wisconsin. That's number 25? 25. Number 25. All right, take care. That's amazing. So just met this awesome gentleman here. He just finished the Illinois high point trek, and this was his 24th high point. So he's on to Wisconsin next, on Wisconsin, and that will be 25 high points in the bag for that gentleman right there. So it's cool how you meet people along the way doing these high points. Some people take these very seriously. It's kind of a fun recreational thing to do, a bucket list item to do in life. So it's fun. It's fun. You know, someday I would love to do all 50 states, all 50 high points. I know that obviously Alaska with Denali, Mount Denali, and California and some of the Rocky Mountain states, obviously there's a lot of training that goes on in that. So maybe someday. I am no mountaineer. I do have family in Colorado that do quite a bit of mountain hiking and trekking. So it's something I would love to get into someday, but right here and now in this point of my life, yeah, I'm gonna start with the plain states first and then work my way up from there. So baby steps. There's no turning back now. We're about 100 yards into the trail. There's the highway. Moving onward down this overgrown, grassy country road. So this region here in the Midwest is known as the driftless zone. It's a region in northwest Illinois, northeast Iowa, southeast Minnesota, and southwest Wisconsin, where the glaciers from the last ice age, which was roughly tens of thousands of years ago, they didn't touch this region along the Mississippi River. So there's a lot more natural rock here and a lot more hills and cliffs because the glaciers did not pulverize the ground down in this region. That's why it's called the driftless zone. It was untouched by the last ice age. I think these are oak trees. Looks like it. The reason they call this Charles Mound was there was a man named Elijah Charles that settled at the bottom of this mound in 1828, and it's been called Charles Mound ever since. It's almost 200 years ago, believe it or not. All right, we're getting a little rocky terrain action. It's getting exciting here at the Charles Mound trailhead. Looks like there's a small creek that runs underneath the trail at this point. Looks like they maybe dug this out recently for water drainage. Lots of farm chemicals dumping into the stream. Wouldn't want to wade in that. And there's a Breaking Bad meth trailer over here too. I will say this is a hot afternoon for early June. I think it's like 93 degrees out Fahrenheit today. Look at this view. Look at that. I'm gonna turn this around. Look at that beautiful hill with a lone tree. But it is a hot one, so I packed water with me. I also brought along a local beer that I am going to crack open and enjoy at the top of the mound. I think that's something I'm going to keep doing going forward. I plan to visit several more high points this year, this summer specifically, and I want to bring a regional or local beer with me and celebrate at the top. So I might have to make that up for Indiana at some point along the way, but today I've got a beer I'll show you when I crack it up once we reach the summit of Charles Mound. Oh, the clouds. Now it feels nice. As you can see, there's not a lot of people on this. I am in a very remote region of northwest Illinois. In fact, the Wisconsin border is only like half a mile north of me right now. So, I mean, the state of Wisconsin is less than a mile away. That's how far north this high point is in the state of Illinois. I ran into a couple people on the trail so far, but not a lot. So I don't know if it's just, I don't know why. I was gonna say the weather is no excuse. It's gorgeous out. So just not a popular high point apparently. Most aren't though. I have not really been to a high point that has ever been crowded. Maybe Colorado, but most of the Midwest high points are in rural areas that not a lot of people trek out to. There's another culvert. This one is a log. Look at that. A wooden culvert. You don't see that every day. All right, let's keep moving before Pennywise shows up. And just in case you were wondering, the path is this way. Just gotta keep following. Don't veer off into the weeds. Just keep going straight. That's the way. Okay, this sign says caution ahead. That's not exactly a sign I want to see. I don't see anything to be cautious about. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe if you veer off the path, there's barbed wire. But the other sign said go straight, so I don't know what they're talking about. It says caution ahead. Hey, how's it going, guys? Hey, did you make the top? Yeah. All right. Well, they made it to the top, so I'm not sure what it is I need to be cautious about. There's Bigfoot out here. there's no woods really. I mean, there's some patches of trees, but I don't think Bigfoot would be hanging around farmland USA. He'd stand out too easily, at least until the corn grows, you know, so high. Knee high by the 4th of July, that's what they say here. Kind of veers off here, but it's not, it's a false trail. That's like the tractor wheel treads from the farmer. So this says keep following this. It's the right way. Some wicker man remains here. Maybe that's what the caution sign was about. The beware of the wicker man. You do not want to end up as a human sacrifice in the middle of nowhere, Illinois. All right, let's keep going. I love rural America, by the way, so don't take that the wrong way. If you're from a small town, I grew up in a small Midwest town. I just have very dry humor. So I like to poke fun of all sorts of things. All right, let's keep going. All right, so we're actually starting to go uphill a little bit here. So far, it's been a pretty easy high pointer to get to. Other than some of the humidity in the air, the bugs, bring some water, bring some, okay, yeah, now there's a lot of flies. Bring some water, bring some bug spray. Should be solid, should be good. This has been the biggest incline so far of this entire hike. So yes, relatively straightforward. So the trail, you can see it way up there to the left of the barn. And Charles Mound is just on the other side of those trees. It is so peaceful and quiet out. I barely even hear birds right now. Just the wind along the prairie. I really love days like this. It's just get out, soak in that sunlight, get some exercise, be at one with nature. It's definitely refreshing for the soul. That sounded so cheesy. We're not even in Wisconsin. I would say you gotta be careful of loose rock right here because you don't want to fall down that ravine. Okay, so it looks like I've come to another fork in the road, but no fret. I actually have no idea where that leads, but I do remember when I was here 3 years ago that this is the way you go. You go uphill, you do not go downhill. Again, I don't know where that leads. You go this route, you follow the barn, the big red barn, and keep following the trail as it goes up the hill up there. I think that's technically Charles Mound, just on the other side of these trees. Oh, nice. There's a little pond. As much as I would love to jump into that, it looks pretty disgusting. A lot of algae growth. It's kind of weird. I don't see any birds at all on the water. It looks like there's a sign here, high pointers, please park here on gravel roadway and continue by foot. What? Well, that is news to me. Maybe that's what that other roadway is. To my knowledge, in my previous experience coming here, I've never seen anybody park all the way up here by this red barn. I've only seen people trek up from the highway path that I did. So I don't know if there's another way to drive a little closer to this high point. Leave a comment below, because that is news to me. I have never known about that, so that's a very confusing sign, unless there's like a special high pointers club that I didn't know existed. In that case, then I want in. Invite me. I want to join the High Pointers Club so I get VIP access to high points across the United States. All right. Well, I think this is as good of a point as any to hydrate a little bit, change my battery, and this is the final ascent here to Charles Mound. This is Charles Mound, and the summit is just beyond those trees. So I'm gonna grab some water, hydrate a little bit, change the battery. I feel like my camera's my baby or something. I gotta change the diaper, I gotta change the battery out. Anyway, gonna take a small breather and then we'll continue to the top. The beer is still cold. That's a good thing too. The beer is still cold. All right, let's do this. Climbing to the top. Yeah, you can see the ascent here is a lot steeper than the slight one we had earlier. So this, I would say, is probably the most difficult point in the hike. Not like it's that hard, but just this is what you can expect. And if I hear a freaking chainsaw or see movement in this barn, I will be sprinting up this hill so fast. I'll be trapped up there, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. All right, good. It's kind of creepy. There's like wood piles for the Wicker Man that they're gonna build later this summer. That sign said like beware or something. This would be like the perfect horror movie setting. Do not watch Friday the 13th before coming to this trail by yourself, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the movie I was kind of referencing earlier, but yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Whew. Yeah, this is a great climb. So again, it's basically all gravel. It's a very easy ascent. There's no vertical climbing involved at Charles Mound. We're in the midst of the climb. Look at this. This is fun. I love the challenge of trekking uphill. I always like climbing up. I shouldn't say always. Colorado, I've hit some limits there, but when I'm road biking, my favorite thing is going up hills. I love the challenge of pedaling through a steep incline. The same goes for hiking. But yeah, I mean, in reality, this really isn't that bad. It's more of a challenge than Hoosier Hill in Indiana, but this really isn't. It's not a bad one compared to some of the other high points across the USA. There's a nice view again of the incline. This is what it takes to get to the top of the highest point of the great state of Illinois, the Prairie State. The land of Lincoln. Is that what I think it is? Oh, yes it is. We've reached, I think, the highest point of elevation. Welcome to Charles Mound, highest point in Illinois, 1,235 feet above sea level. Whew, and they got the owners' names on there too. That's pretty cool. And a praise to Jesus Christ. All right, we did it. We're not as high as heaven, but we were at about the highest point we can get as far as geography is concerned in Illinois. I gotta turn this baby around so I can document this. Yes, I'm here. The highest point of the great state of Illinois. We've done it 1,235 feet above sea level. Another random fact that I looked up before I came here too is actually the Sears Tower is 500 feet higher than we are right now. But because that's man-made, it doesn't count as a geographical natural high point. But actually, yeah, for the Sears Tower, we'd be actually looking down on this. It'd be like a giant mound of ants. Anyway, still, it feels great. I'm here at the top. One more state to cross off my list. You know what? It's time to take in the view and crack a cold one. Look at this. It's beautiful out. We did it! The highest point of Illinois. Whew. You know, know, this happened to me in Indiana too, but I'm starting to get some altitude sickness. I think it's. I'm just kidding, guys. I did this to you earlier too. It's not that high. It's just the Midwest. 1,200 feet. All is good. Let's go check out the view. Come on. And look at this. They even have a couple lawn chairs set out next to the sign right here. So you can just sit down and take in the view. Relish in your accomplishment. Crack a cold one. And look at this view. It is a beautiful June view of the Midwest landscape of northern Illinois. And actually that is Wisconsin, I believe, straight on that hilltop. Wisconsin is just half a mile away. If my directions are right, I think that is northwest up there. Wow. And that is private property right over yonder, so not allowed to go over there. People live there and own this and take care of this. So nothing but the utmost respect for allowing us to come onto their land and take in this official high point. And right next to the high point sign is a stone marker from the original U.S. Coast and Geodetics survey. It says this is the triangulation point right here. And there's another one over here marked as proof that this is in fact the high point of Illinois. What does this say? Same thing, U.S. Coast and Geodetic Survey reference. Washington, D.C. for information, yada, yada, yada. 1935. It's the date stamped right there, designating this a high point. Very cool. And look, there's a registration here as well. Guest register. Box of the Rock. All right, let's do this. It says Charles Mound guest register. We hope you've enjoyed your visit. Comments can be sent to charlesmound@gmail.com. Please remember to put the rock back on top of the box when finished. Somebody has, I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a thank you. Somebody left a gift. All right, let's sign away. So I've got the Charles Mound guest register. Charles Mound is part of a privately owned farm. We allow people seriously interested in visiting the state high points, as well as those interested in Illinois history, access to our property. Let's see. We hope you enjoy your peaceful sight and beautiful view. Please take a moment to look out and thank the Lord for His creation. It is a beautiful view. All right, let's sign away. They've got a couple different years and dates on here. Let's do this, 2021. All right, put my signature in, closing the box, putting the rock on top. And we got that done. Let's take in the view and let's have a cold beer. Looking forward to this. So this is my third high point. I've been to the high points of Indiana, Illinois, and Iowa. I've got a lot more, obviously, that I want to do, and several that I plan to do this summer and into the fall. But I have to say, this might be the high point with the best view between Iowa and Indiana and Illinois. I think Illinois wins the best Midwest high point view. So I purchased this cooler slash koozie by Yeti to keep my beer cold. And let's crack this baby open. I'll reveal what type of local beer that I got for this high point, for conquering this high point. Open this up. I guess by local, it's a state brewed beer. This is one of my favorites in the state of Illinois. This is Half Acre. is the brewery. The beer type is called Daisy Cutter. You can find this all over the state of Illinois. But Half Acre is one of my favorite breweries in the United States. And this beer is fantastic. It's phenomenal. So I thought I would crack open a Daisy Cutter and enjoy this beautiful view, this grand accomplishment, and one more high point to knock off the bucket list. From the highest point of the state of Illinois, we did this. Cheers to you. Oh yeah. Fewer things feel better than a ice cold beer after a worthy trek. All right, I'm gonna sit down on these lawn chairs and relax and take in the view. Yeah, can't complain at all about this view. Sitting in this lawn chair that they've got up. There's one other one over there, but yeah, just soaking in the beauty of nature. And God, this beer tastes incredible. Still cold. The Yeti worked. I don't know if it's the owners who put the chairs out here. I'm assuming it is, but man, what a great idea. Thank you. If you're watching this, the people that live or own this property, I greatly appreciate these lawn chairs. And they're also situated in the shade, so it's just perfect at viewing the high point. And the sunset here has to be incredible. Even though okay, so the sunset's over there. That's the west. I'm looking pretty much due north. So, but still, what a view. What a view. All right, let's finish this and head down. Head back to the car, do the trek downhill, which is always easier than going up, but a little less exciting. This was not as easy as it looks. Dead tree branch. Okay, that was not as easy as it looked. And yeah, I'm sorry about that tree branch, but it was already dead. So I'm kind of saving you some work, I guess. It's a tough tree to climb. All right, it's been a while since I've climbed a tree. Let's head back down. Woo, all right. Well, we came, we saw, we conquered. Time to head down the mound. See you later, Charles Mound. Ta-ta for now. I am sweaty, covered in bug bites and tree bark, and I'm ready to embark back to the highway. Okay. All right. Onward. 1 mile back, and anything exciting happens, I'll share it, but probably nothing that you haven't seen up to this point. So I'll speed it along and we'll close this baby out. Let's go back down. Here's the hardest part, back down the the side of Charles Mound. Really loose gravel is really the only thing you have to worry about. Just another view of the side of Charles Mound, the steepest portion of this trek, and here is that cool red barn. It sits right at the bottom of Charles Mound. Very cool. My one recommendation would be to owners, if they're watching this, open this up the first weekend of October. I feel like October would be the most beautiful time to trek up to the top of Charles Mound. That is the most beautiful time of the year to me in the Midwest. The early October is still pretty warm out, but the trees are all changing, different arrays of colors, and this would be such a cool trek to do in early October. So I wanted to ask you, as a viewer, what high points have you visited? Are there any that you recommend I do next? A high point that is more exciting, more challenging, that you have done here in the United States? I will be at Hawkeye Point in northwest Iowa over the 4th of July, so I'll be in that region, that neck of the woods. I plan to do an entire vlog of the Iowa high point and Ocheyedan Mound, which is another high point near the actual Iowa high point in northwest Iowa. There's a whole backstory to that I want to explore as well. So Iowa is one that I've been to before in the past, but I want to document that in a vlog, share it with you guys. There's a lot of high points, obviously, that I want to do, starting with the Midwest, but not necessarily starting with the Midwest. I'm open to options. I've got a busy schedule this summer, so trying to fit in travel the best that I can over the weekends and any holidays that are coming up. But I love history, I love geography, and knocking out all 50 high points is something that I want to do someday. I know that, again, I spoke about this earlier, that Denali, some of the mountains out west, that is obviously a very extreme trek and venture, getting into professional mountain climbing and things of that nature. I'm not at that point in my life right now, but I'm not saying that's something I can't train for in the future if I really want to take it serious. But for now, knocking off the Midwest as much as I can, but again, I'm open to other regions as well. But yeah, I love exploring the back roads of the United States as well. So anything with high points, historical locations. I also love visiting state capitals and historic old state capitals, as many of the states still have those standing as well. I've also read online that there are high points that people actually venture, like this is how hardcore some of you high pointers are out there, that they actually want to check off every county of every state. So every state in the United States, if you're not from this country, or if you're just not educated enough or pay attention to this, every state is made up of counties. And each individual county apparently has their own geographic high point. So there are some extreme high pointers out there. I don't know if any of you are watching this, but there are some extreme high pointers. They call them high point baggers that try to knock off even the county high points. So I haven't delved that much into it yet, although I could see myself doing that at some point, beginning with Northern Illinois. Why not? And I guess that my one question would be then, does this mean that I have knocked off the Joe Davis County high point? I'm assuming that because Charles Mound is located in Joe Davis County, that this is also the high point of the Joe Davis County here. So anyway, rambling on a little bit, but that is something that I discovered an entire new world online that I didn't even know existed. The high point baggers that actually try to climb and document and reach every high point in every county of every state of the United States. Maybe they don't stop there either. Maybe they do other countries. If you're watching this and you're from another country, what are your high points? That'd be cool to do too someday. So yeah, there's a whole world to this that I didn't know existed. One other thing that I've done that I like to brag about that not a lot of people do is I've been to the northernmost continental point of the United States, the continental United States. So there is, everybody's heard of the southernmost point in the Florida Keys, right? They've got the red and yellow buoy, people take pictures by it. Well, let me tell you something. Did you know that there is a northernmost point of the continental United States, and it's located in the northwest angle of the state of Minnesota? Not a lot of people have been there, but I have. I went there 4 years ago with my brother. We ventured across a little sliver of Canada into this small region in northern Minnesota called the Northwest Angle. And there they have a brand new blue and green buoy. I'll show you a picture right here. See that? A blue and green buoy that you can take pictures at of the northernmost point of the continental United States. Not counting Alaska, but the continental US, the lower 48, as they say. So that is something I like to brag about that not a lot of people know, is there is a northernmost point. So people actually try to do the high points and the northernmost and southernmost points of the United States. So I still got to go down to the Keys. That sounds fun. All right, so we are in the, oh, hello there, bunny. Hey, rabbit. Oh, there he goes. Reminds me of Watership Down. That's a classic book about rabbits. It's like The Hobbit, but with rabbits. Anyway, this is the final stretch. That is way straight ahead. I don't know what that would be, like a quarter of a mile maybe. Way straight ahead is the end point. That's the where the highway is. And here's those signs again, just in case you get lost. Keep going straight. So yeah, we are at the final stretch. You could probably sprint this last stretch. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could if you wanted to. I think I would highly recommend doing this trek in the month of June because, again, it's the first weekend of every month that they have this open. So I highly, Jesus Christ, God, bugs are relentless. Jesus, God, I didn't know there was something sitting on my head. Wow, that scared the hell out of me. Okay, so that being said, I think I would recommend doing this hike in June. Keep in mind, again, this is only open the first weekend of all 4 summer months of June, July, August, and September. But June, the bugs are still kind of just coming out. And I will say that they are pretty relentless today even. I should have put some bug spray on. A lot of horseflies and gnats. No mosquitoes. I will say there's no mosquitoes, but just a lot of flies buzzing all over me and my camera throughout this trek. So just be prepared for that, because when I did this 3 years ago, it was August, the month of August when I did it. Jeez, see? Bugs everywhere, these flies. It was the month of August, and that was pretty brutal when it comes to mosquitoes and flies and gnats. One thing I will say is Illinois and a lot of the upper Midwest in the summertime get these like black little gnat looking bugs. They're like little mini fly things, and they are the most annoying things in the world. They bite you, they swarm, they just follow you relentlessly. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind. Definitely bring bug spray. Whew. And here's the end. We made it, and my car's still there. All right. Woo! Here is the end of the line, the end of the trail. Woo! Did it! All right, well, that does it. We came, we saw, we conquered the geographical high point of the state of Illinois, Charles Mound. So long, Charles Mound. It's been fun. We've got, what, 47 more states to do. So checking this one off for the Prairie State, the land of Lincoln, the great state of Illinois. There's plenty more high points I plan to do this summer. If there's one in particular that you'd like to see me do, please leave a comment below. Don't write Denali. There's no way I can do that one right now, but any other one, leave a comment below, one that you would like to see, and I'll do the best I can to try to fit it in this summer. But this has been an awesome hike. It's good to get this one accomplished. Charles Mound, it's been fun. Good to see ya. it's time for me to get out of here. Thanks for watching, everyone. What the heck is this? It is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre out here. All right, it's time to get out of here. That's literally the entryway to the mound right here. What the heck? All right, that's scary. Let's go. Has been great. Before this loud motorbike goes by, he's gonna go by anyway, and he's gonna make himself even louder so that nobody can hear what I'm saying. Thanks.